What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. This is serious. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on YouTube shit. Hey man, we are lit 32, man. Turn. Today, motherfucking day, straight here outside Big Crib, man. Hey man, we out here. Gang. Big Crib. Yes, sir. We out here, man. You know what I'm saying? You did. Your boy is putting in that motherfucking work. You feel me? Hey, never give up on yourself. Never give up on the people you care about. And never just give up on life. It's always gonna be another better day. You know what I'm saying? Keep Yahweh first. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's gonna be better days, and better days. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, all you can do is be you, but an upgraded version every day. Crib, you know what I'm saying? But make sure y'all fuck with your boy, man. Like and subscribe to videos up, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're giving out the real out here, man. Outside business. You did? Like I said, man, you know, the grind don't stop. And hey, and when you don't stop, you just gotta keep on putting that work. Like I said, we already won. You did? Black Hebrew Israelites, you know what I'm saying? We already won. You know what I'm saying? Just never give up. It might get harder, but we never won. We already won, and we never take L's. Facts. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into this bit. Alright. Boom. Today, it's a motherfucking day. Straight here outside Big Crib, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man. So we finna talk about Young Thugg. Thugg. Young Thugg, man. A lot of shit is going on. You feel me? And you know, we've been watching these motherfucking courts. You know what I'm saying, for a minute. And we didn't know how long these courts was gonna last and shit, man. Cause you know, a lot of motherfuckers in this court, they've been, you know what I'm saying, ratting all types of crazy ass shit. And so at this point, you know what I'm saying, last one we was talking about how they got the people who gonna do the jury and shit. Now, this is where the motherfucking crazy part is coming from. They now is trying to use Young Thug lyrics, rap lyrics from his music and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people are like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you use other people's rap lyrics, you know what I'm saying, people just be, you know what I'm saying some shit sometimes, and motherfuckers, man, they using his music. You know what I'm saying? The YSL, his, you know what I'm saying, Young Thug music and shit. And his lawyers is basically going at it with the judge and like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So we got the videos of the judge and the motherfucking lawyers and Young Thug. Y'all gotta understand, the state, you know what I'm saying, is over the judge. The state gonna do whatever the state gonna wanna do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, Young Thug and the judge, Crip, like, is trying to go against the system. And so, you know, they can't really use people's lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And the judge is trying to say whoop the whoop whoop about all this bullshit. And it's like, I'm trying to figure out, like, this shit is getting wild, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially when, like, some of the lyrics that they saying, it's not even adding up to, you know what I'm saying, the people who they trying to say is what happened to it. You know what I'm saying? So Young Thug and his lawyer is getting prepared for this damn case. You dig? Crip. So I'm gonna put the videos in. I hope y'all get the gist of what's going on, and when we break it back down, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna see what the fuck, you know what I'm saying, your boy talking about.
Let me go ahead and like I said, when we recessed last night, courts had an opportunity to ponder the issues that were presented yesterday in terms of the admission of lyrics or the exclusion thereof. So to that extent, the court has considered the state's motion in limine to admit evidence of lyrics, the state's supplemental motion in limine to admit evidence of lyrics at trial, the state's amended particularized motion in limine to admit evidence of lyrics at trial, the opposition to the state's second supplemental and motion in limine to admit evidence of lyrics at trial filed by and on behalf of Mr. Kendrick and argued by Mr. Weinstein, as well as Jeffrey Williams' motion in limine number 2, 1, and 2 to motion to strike, as well as Mr. Shart's oral motion, and the court will also consider it for any other lyrics that may be sought to be admissible in the trial of this matter. Specifically, I have considered the arguments of the state as well as the arguments of the defense. I'll kind of go through those in just a second. The state has argued that this particular gang lyrics or evidence is admissible for several reasons. One, to show actus reus or mens rea, or other offenses under 16-14-4, 16-15-4, or 24-8-801D2 alpha, 28-8-801D2 bravo, 24-8-801D2 echo, and 24-8-804 B3, specifically, as well as 16-15-3, 16-15-9 for those particular relevant purposes. The court is well aware that there are several gatekeeping functions that the court must perform in determining logical relevance under 401, presumptive admissibility under 402, and legal relevance under 403. The defense has argued that use of these particular, the admission and use of lyrics, poetry, or artistry against Mr. Williams or any of the other named defendants as appropriate in this upcoming trial would be a constitutional violation, abuse of discretion, too prejudicial and unconstitutional based on the provisions of the U.S. Constitution as well as the Georgia Constitution, and that moreover, using these lyrics, poetry, artistry, speech against Mr. Williams and others would be racist and discriminatory because the jury would be poisoned, prejudiced by these lyrics, poetry, artistry, speech as the same as unlawful character assassination. The defense has asked me to exclude these particular lyrics, poetry, words, speech, artistry from the indictment and exclusion from testimony and evidence pursuant to 24-4-401, 24-4-402, 25-4-403, and 24-4-404A, as well as the constitutional provisions as set forth in the Georgia and U.S. Constitutions. Mr. Williams, as well as others, have asked this court to further suppress any video, photographs, posts, or images that deal with these particular lyrics, words, speech, poetry, artistry, to be excluded from trial as well in total, and that these videos are protected speech as articulated by the same aforementioned provisions of the Georgia as well as U.S. Constitution. And as I mentioned, these arguments the court's going to apply as to all parties, not just the ones that argued yesterday, Mr. Steele, Mr. Sharp, and Mr. Weinstein. The court also, in considering this particular ruling, considered under the provisions of 24-1-104, which is the conditional admissibility or screening determination that this court may make. And I'll cite from our code, preliminary questions concerning the qualifications of a person to be a witness, the existence of a privilege, or the admissibility of evidence shall be determined by the court subject to the revisions of the subsection B of this, and that's on relevancy, depends on the fulfillment of a condition of fact. Court shall admit it upon or subject to the introduction of evidence sufficient to support a finding for fulfillment of the condition. So if I have to look at A before I can get to B, but it also mentions that subject to the revisions of subsection B of this code section, in making this determination, the court shall not be bound by the rules of evidence, except those as respect to privileges. Preliminary questions shall be resolved by preponderance of the evidence standard. And then B covers the relevancy of a condition of fact so in this particular circumstance, the court's just making a preliminary admissibility determination. Of course, anything that the court may rule upon at this point in time will be subject to a complete foundation being met and may be subject to other additional objections. But the court has considered, under the terms of 104, states 1 through 20, as well as defendants 1 through 4. Mr. Weinstein, thank you. We got the PowerPoint you presented yesterday. We also have D2, D3, which is, I believe, the drive, and D4, presented by Mr. Steele, and D4, which was the chart that Mr. Steele circulated for the courts and parties' consideration. So I've considered that universe of conditionally admissible evidence for my consideration on the ruling, on this particular ruling. The court has also further considered in making this ruling the commonality of specific lyrics as they relate to the issues of mens rea and actus reus. Also, the court has also considered that depending upon the proof presented in this case, and that YSL, its and testimony that may be relevant of the gang's organization and or strength would be relevant. The court has also considered that these particular statements are being offered to show the elements of the offenses and not the threat or conduct is not being prosecuted, but these particular lyrics can be associated with different different things that the court mentioned that the state has proffered in States 19. As it pertains to the First Amendment assertions raised by Mr. Steele and Mr. Weinstein and Mr. Sharp under the First Amendment, the court has in fact considered Carpenter among other cases that were cited for the court's consideration yesterday, and that these lyrics, that rap lyrics are relevant, and they must, that the court must conduct a 403 balancing test, which it shall. In terms of the First Amendment analysis that Mr. Steele suggested I needed to conduct, I do have to conduct that, and I have conducted that in looking at the use of the statement, or is it being admitted for a proper purpose. I know that Mr. Steele argued very eloquently yesterday about it being character or improper character, propensity. It's not being admitted for improper character, as that would fall under, the court would certainly screen it under certain other evidence standards. And the propensity argument that was made yesterday, this, as mentioned by the state, this evidence is not being admitted saying that Mr. Williams and any others did these things before, so they do them again. So I'm dissuaded as to the propensity argument. As it pertains to the issue of mental state, argued under 27-7-404B, expert witnesses, if qualified, may draw conclusions about intent as long as they don't state that this is the defendant's intent. So to Mr. Matthews, and your continued argument about that, and Mr. Steele as well, as long as those experts do not cross that particular line, those particular things would be relevant. I've also considered United States versus Smith at 918 F. 3rd 825, that assuming a foundation can be laid, certainly, and if it's within this can of expert testimony, that certain terms or technology, or terms and or symbols or signs may be appropriate and relevant, giving meaning to gang determination. And then, so for those particular reasons set forth therein, the court is going to admit for the limited purpose thus far, the state's request to apply the evidence statute as written. I'm going to conditionally admit particularized lyrics, and those lyrics are found within States 18. There's 17 sets of lyrics. They're from pages 41 through 49 of States 18, 41 through 49 of States 18, submitted for the court's consideration yesterday. Those specific statements, the court will admit. I'll conditionally admit those pending lyrics, depending upon or subject to a foundation that is properly laid by the state or the proponent that seeks to admit that evidence. And to that extent, I have also considered the Taylor, White, Torres, and the Commonwealth versus Knox cases, and I find this to be the conditional admission of these particular lyrics are proper. I would just ask the state, or just remind the state, if any other lyrics are sought to be admitted, that I'd have to go through this same analysis, and if you would do so prior to us putting a jury in the box, that would certainly be helpful.
Hearing, the district attorney argued lyrics from the remaining defendants are not protected under the Constitution and should be admissible in court. The defendants, who are part of Young Slime Life, also known as YSL, maintain they are a rap label and their lyrics are an expression of art. But during the court hearing, the state said several songs and music video appearances by the defendants detail criminal acts that are not art at all, but proof of crimes. And as we speak, attorneys for the defense are refuting the claims. Take a listen.
So what does bodies on bodies have to do with the murder of Donovan Thomas? Nothing. Nothing. Why is it here? It's here because it's prejudicial. The state knows this. That's why it's here. That's why rap music is introduced. That's why no other genre is introduced, because rap music is inherently prejudicial.
Young Thugg's lawyer just had a breakdown inside a court today, as every day it seems the judge and Thugg's lawyers are yelling at the prosecutors as they are acting very unprofessional. It was just reported Young Thugg's lawyer is fed up with the state interrupting him every 5 seconds. He told the judge he's ready to start being petty during trial and start doing the same thing back to them.
So, I sit here, I don't interrupt Ms. Love at all. And if this is the way, Your Honor, and I need to bring this up to the court, if we are going to be doing opening statements with interruptions, cross-examination with interruptions, I am going to ask the court to admonish and take action against Ms. Love, because I sat here for a year, it feels like, being interrupted on every quality, proper statement, and all the objections are the same. Asked and answered, vague,
Your Honor, I'm going to
excuse me, Ms.
Let
Love.
me finish, man.
You have to.
and I'm going to object to being spoken to by Mr. Steele in a condescending manner on the record.
I'm speaking with the court.
Let him finish, and then I'll let you respond, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let him finish. All right.
And if we're going to sit here during opening statements that I'm telling the court, and I don't want to do this, I am going to object to everything that I believe there is a good faith basis.
Further proving how bad these prosecutors really are, here's even the judge screaming at them as well.
Your Honor, we would ask, because we would ask that all of this be reserved for the 16th, because this all came up in September. You said you allowed us to.
I am really annoyed about this, Ms. Holton. I just am. This is ridiculous. Your witness list has grown by 2/3 since then. And I don't know why. You better have a dang good explanation on the 16th, because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it. Okay. But right now I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone.
Well, we would like to
Exclude a lot more on that date, because this is ridiculous. There is no plausible explanation I've gotten and that would suffice, that we just kind of keep, you keep dripping and driving out evidence.
All of this chaos would even have Meek Mill reacting by sharing, "Jeff is gonna beat this case. It is way too messy," which honestly he is right. The prosecutors are trying to do so many sneaky things in this trial, and they're being caught every time. From interrupting Young Thug's lawyer who's trying to make a defense for Thugg to have him released, to even trying to sneak in 200 witnesses in this Young Thug trial. They're trying to sneak in 200 individuals to state that they all saw Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, commit a series of crimes. Meanwhile, they do not want to share the names of these witnesses and even what crimes they witnessed. The only thing the prosecutors truly have against Young Thug is his new rap lyrics that is found in his music being usable as evidence now. As DJ Academics would report, judge in Young Thug case allows the use of 17 different lyrics against him and his co-defendants.
Is going to admit for the limited purpose thus far, the state's request to apply the evidence statute is written. I'm going to conditionally admit particularized lyrics, and those lyrics are found within states 18. There's 17 sets of lyrics. I'll conditionally admit those pending lyrics, depending upon or subject to a foundation that is properly laid.
As in multiple Young Thug songs, he actually breaks down on how crimes were committed and who they were committed by and exactly who they targeted. The first set of lyrics presented to the judge was in the track Bad Boy featuring Juice WRLD, where Young Thug raps the lyrics, "I went at his mommy, now he no longer mentions me." As during the famous Young Thug vs YFN Lucci beef, things escalated extremely fast, which resulted in Young Thug putting a quick end to it by targeting his mother, as evidence would show in the files. Ever since then, Lucci has not done a single thing towards Young Thug.
Well, he's featured on the song, so the song is actually by an artist that goes by the name of Juice WRLD, and it's featuring Mr. Williams. The song is called Bad Boy, and Mr. Williams says, "I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mention me." Now, this would seem, again, insignificant if you're just looking at these words. However, in this case, in the height of the 2050 between the YSL gang and the IF, we have cases in which individuals of YSL the opposition's mother's house. Mr. Rayshawn Bennett also known as YF Lucci. We have 2 incidents in January 22 of 2015 and January 26 of 2015, where his mother's home, Mr. Bennett's mother's home, was at.
The next set of lyrics is in Young Thug's song titled Ew, where Thugg raps the lyrics, "Honestly, truth be told, YSL won't fold. Pick 'em off from the balcony, YSL wipes a nose." Relating to a crime where YSL members targeted an op while he was sitting out on his balcony. Court files suggest that multiple YSL members stalked out a balcony of an apartment, sitting in a stakeout car, sitting in park for roughly 2 hours. They awaited an op to come out on his balcony of his apartment building, and once he did, you can then guess what happened then. As the next set of lyrics are my personal favorite, read out loud in court to the judge, was the lyrics, "My boys really be slime, and we committin' those crimes. Hop out and hit, you wanna be slime? Go catch you a body." As these lyrics from Young Thug are in his hit song titled Really Be Slime. Funny enough, featuring YNW Melly, who's in his own court case going on, where he is being accused of taking out his 2 best friends, YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser. As prosecutors are alleging these lyrics relate to the recruitment process of joining YSL, where you have to commit a serious crime towards someone to join the team. Now currently the rap lyrics is a majority of the evidence the prosecutors have. However, with all of the nonsense the prosecutors are doing inside of the courtroom, Thugg's lawyers are making it very high of a chance that Young Thug is being released soon. To understand when his release date is, we need to dive deep into what his lawyer just did. As it was announced this week, Young Thugg's lawyer files a motion to redact/remove any mention in the indictment of the 9 co-defendants who took guilty pleas. He argues the fact that co-defendants pleading guilty cannot be used as evidence against Thugg or others in the trial. In simple terms, a few YSL members that took plea deals are obligated to take the stand during trial to basically state what crimes Young Thug was involved in. Why this is so important is because a Young Thug's co-defendant and right-hand man Durante Bibi, aka B, pleading guilty to his RICO charges against him this week, along with participation in criminal street activity, theft by receiving stolen property, violation of Georgia's Controlled Substance Act, armed robbery, hijacking of a motor vehicle, as well as firearm charges.
And you give this guilty plea freely and voluntarily, means your own decision to enter a plea this afternoon? Yes. Okay, all right. And sir, then I find that based upon the responses that you've given in the colloquy in this case and the court's questioning of you, that your pleas are freely and voluntarily entered. I find a factual basis. I'm going to go ahead and accept your pleas as tendered and negotiate, sentence you to the as indicated. You're 23 years old. You've had enough trial in your life at this point in time. Would you agree? Yes. Time to have a little testimony. Time to reclaim your own life, and that you can do in this case, or if you just separate yourself from the people that you've been hanging out with. Find some new friends, find some new people that are going to be positive in your life, and if they don't add to your life, then you need to cut them loose.
As in that entire list of charges I just read, BB was only sentenced to 5 years in prison, along with 10 years of probation following his release, as B is now the 9th co-defendant to strike a plea deal to avoid trial, as it also goes to show you the only person these prosecutors want is Young.
Alright, back. So if you see from that bitch, you know what I'm saying? They using like some of his songs, his main songs, to do with some of these murders that I guess that had happened. And you dig, is mad. You know what I'm saying? Cause the lawyer who's repeating the lyrics, it's like, how can you use these lyrics and half of it don't even add up to what's going on? And you know, they got all these people, you feel me, who's trying to they got all these people who's trying to take Thugg down, especially use his rap lyrics. And you know, half the rap lyrics, you feel me, does not even like make that right of a sense. You feel me, gang? And the judge, he's like, the First Amendment and shit. They say I guess they can skip past that shit because they can see what the fuck is. They can try to see you did, like they're trying to see, like they trying to say that it does kind of add up to it, but you know you can't really do that. You feel me? And that's why I be like, you know, they don't want people to understand how big of a how they can just take people's words that have nothing to do with it against you, use it against you, type shit. You know what I'm saying? And the other people, they're not respecting the judge, the Young Thug side of the people. You know what I'm saying? They're not respecting Young Thug side of the people fighting against these cases and shit. And it's like, you know, that's what I've been saying. Like, you get to these court battles, and you can have you a good ass lawyer to help you fight the case. Sometimes that don't even matter because, like I said, the state already got it. It made up half the time, and so they just waiting for the jury. You know what I'm saying? The state already got their mind made up. You feel me, about what's going basically they trying to do. You know what I'm saying? The jury is just the people now. They trying to, you feel me? We trying to see what they gonna be like. They gonna vote on and see what he gonna if you know what I'm saying. And I mean, this could be like a 50-50 chance out of the jury, because the jury, like you see, I already see what happened with the Ryan Deli Millie. They got that nigga like redoing his trial and shit. So you feel me? That shit crazy, man. You feel me? Young Thug, you know, he put in the work and put in the music, you know what I'm saying, and invested into a label, man. You know what I'm saying? And they allow dumb shit happen, and now they trying to just blame it all on him and a couple of more people. You know what I'm saying? The people who already pleaded guilty, they gotta come in and do a snitch against Young Thugger. You know what I'm saying? And basically, you know, because it's like three people, you know what I'm saying, who done held it down solid. You feel me? They held it down solid, and why they gotta hold it down solid? They got a lot of shit on their list too. They got some good lawyers too, but you feel me? These people who snitching, they using that against them too. So it's like, and you know, when they go against the jury, they not trying to use these rap lyrics, because you know, like you were saying, it's racial. Like they can use it as far as trying to race bait and all types of shit. And you know, they you know, you like they always trying to do in all the other trials. They trying to use people's lyrics and emotions against the Thug and other people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Thug, man, he been up in that bit for like at least about 2 years now. That shit wild, man. You know, we just trying to see how much they gonna do now. They said they took away his freedom. Now they trying to take away, you know what I'm saying, the freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying, about the lyrics and shit, man. And like, damn, bro, you feel me? This Rico is crazy, man. You feel me? They trying everything in their power to just try to, you know, you feel me, trying to bring somebody down and shit, man. And so I feel like, man, if Young Thug and the lawyer, they can build up a nice case to why, you know what I'm saying, none of this shit had nothing to do with his label or anything, you know what I'm saying. He can take W's You know what I'm saying? And win. You feel me? And like they trying to get them some years and shit, and especially the people who's with them, they trying to get them niggas some years too. But they know the only ones who still lasting this far is pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? They pretty solid right now. So that's why we trying to go to the jury. That shit gonna be wild. They finally got the jury people. They finally got the motherfucking jury people. You know what I'm saying? And then they trying to say they were trying to put like extra 200 witnesses in that bitch. Like, damn, bro, you know, they just added motherfuckers in. You know what I'm saying? Like the state can do anything in this bitch. The state can do almost anything in this bitch, and like, if they say they got something that they believe in that's gonna happen, they can do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't do this to no other really music except for the black people music, man. Y'all, that's what people don't understand. They use all our shit against us, our music and shit and stuff like that, but they don't use, like, you know what I'm saying? So this is weird shit, man. And so we just trying to see what's gonna happen next, man. When the next trial come for Thugg, man. You know what I'm saying? Thugg got like these trials coming back to back. You know what I'm saying? They deny all his bond hearings, so then they ain't get no bond, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shit wild, man. He released all his new songs. I listened to some of them. It's pretty good. I downloaded one of them bitches. But at the end of the day, man, you know, these three motherfuckers, man, they gotta come up with a plan to, you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as all the shit they got don't be like super crazy, they can win this case. They can win this case. You know what I'm saying? Like, the jury, man, the jury gonna be the jury. You feel me? That's the thing. The jury gonna be the jury. And so as long as we, you know what I'm saying, just think about how they can get out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They can find ways to get out this motherfucking case and win this bitch. So that's all, you know what I'm saying, we hoping for at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to see no nigga locked up for no 20 years up in the pokey. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That shit tough. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, you know, we gotta just gotta stay strong out here, stay solid. You know what I'm saying? You know, big crip out here, you know what I'm saying? We gotta stay solid and do what to do and don't never give up, man. You always gotta have faith at the end of the day, man. But yeah, man, make sure y'all like and subscribe to these videos up. Hood, Northside, Big Crip. We gonna keep on doing that thing, man. And yeah, let's go and get this shit started. Dang.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.